Well, and you have to remember, Drew was raised with a silver spoon.
Silver spoon?
Yeah, I think so.
Or should I invest in some real lube for future silicone penetrative adventures? Yes. Invest in lube. It's Valentine's Day.
And I know. I don't mean to be saying mean things about you.
Don't stop talking.
You know what I like.
Yeah. Colombians.
I do.
Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey, Jeans, welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate the emails at drafterdark@gmail.com. Of course, the voicemails at 818-253-1693. We can never get enough of those. Happy Valentine's Day, almost everybody. And in honor of that, we bring in the one, the only Susan Pinsky. Welcome.
I'm back.
By popular demand. She's back, bitch. By popular demand. So I know this makes you nervous to be here for many reasons, some of which is those assholes make all kinds of clips of everything we say. So I know that.
Point to us in the booth?
Of course.
How dare you?
Maybe you're not even the guys that do it. Is the guys in the editing bay that really do us poor?
No one's doing. No, you guys look great. You guys look funny. You guys, everything's amazing.
Yeah, it depends on what comes out of my mouth. Then it's my own fault.
Yeah.
Definitely my own fault.
Yeah, Susan actually had some concerns that we've been too sort of explicit in our conversations in recent months or even years, and that people can't sort of listen to this show.
With their kids in the car.
Or around anybody, for that matter. And so, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I love the way the show is currently going, but if you guys want to be less explicit, that's completely up to you. If you guys want to talk less about how much anal you're having, I mean, that's your decision.
Well, we could go the direction of Tom and Christina, just talk more about farts and burps and brown.
No, I don't want to limit the production value that the boys put together because they do a great job.
Yes, they do.
But I think that the way that we name it might lessen the
You know what she's talking about?
Consumption value.
The titles that you guys put on the show freaks her out completely.
I mean, I don't know.
Gaping anus.
Drew.
We don't call it that.
No, you don't call it
Drew,
that?
Let's go ahead and ISO that one.
Seriously?
You got an ISO on that?
He's already working it. It's just
play it when I go over to your mom to where my mom's at. That's what you got to do with that. But okay, yeah.
No, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job here.
You know, by the way, since Susan was last on here, she has produced her own show that she put me in called Ask Dr. Drew. It's doing really, really well. We've been interviewing. You want to tell people about that?
We're making money.
We've been interviewing people that have been all the people that have been silenced on the internet. She is lined up, and we work with this Dr. Kelly Victory, who's a doctor that sees things a little differently than me, which makes it interesting. And we just interview people that have been silenced, and I've learned a lot talking to these people. It's been very interesting.
Changed up the format a little bit.
Yeah, so well done on that.
Thank you.
Do you relate more strongly to what these guys are trying to do now that you sit behind the computer screen and try to control what we do on the
last
camera?
time I saw you, we didn't have any numbers, and I really didn't have to work. It was nice.
Yes.
But now I have to actually wake up in the morning and go to work.
Is that a problem, or do you like working?
No, it's okay. I mean, I've been doing podcasts for like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I don't know how long it's been, since I started.
You've been sort of pushing me down that road for a long time, and finally now we got something that's got traction.
It's hard because when you don't make money doing it and you just do it as a hobby or for fun, it's great because you don't have to work so hard. You can just wake up in the morning and go, I guess I'll do this or I won't do this.
I see. So do you like work?
No, I'm really happy that we're finally getting the message out. So that feels good.
Do you like work?
Well, listen, I like work.
Okay.
I don't work that hard.
Okay.
I have other people that work for me.
No, hold on. Okay. I like work.
It's a responsibility, you know.
I'll take you at your word. You like work. A lot of years your work was at home. I mean, we just had massive stuff going on with triplets and things. Did you miss work during that time?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that in all the years that I've done podcasts, I've never had the responsibility now to keep it going, and
I understand.
And people are very complimentary towards you. It makes me happy because you have more love, people that love your work and your moderate point of view, and you're doing what you you know how to do, which is be a professional physician.
So you like
and
work.
You help people.
You like work.
And I get nice emails, and we haven't been censored in
Seems
like 6 months.
You're struggling a little bit. You like work.
No, I do, but I also like the people I work with, and I like you, and I like Dr. Kelly, and I like all the.
And so all those years of not
I've met
working
in the last 6 months.
How was that for you?
What's that?
All those years of not working, but having shit tons of responsibility with a family.
I was working though. I was working with your management. I was doing your travel. I was
so you've never
balancing
not been
your
working.
Books. I was paying the taxes. I was doing everything.
So it seemed like it's getting cathartic for her a little bit.
No,
I didn't know we were quite going to go. It's Valentine's Day, honey. It's okay.
And I manage 4 homes. Okay,
I love you.
So
I love you. I do. I think it's wonderful. I literally
to have to put on a show that gets canceled and then doesn't make any money, and you work for free for a year. Fuck that. But now I have to make money.
Welcome to podcasting.
I like the idea that people are accepting
just so you know the road I was going down on this Valentine's Day.
I've been working for you for 30 years. What are you talking about?
Well, now I do feel guilty, but I was expecting to feel guilty for a different reason. So what I was going down the road was, do you feel that you lost something by not having been able, because we were so busy with all the stuff you said you did and were exceptional at? Do you feel like you missed something during sort of parts of your life where you could have been working or anything? I was prepared to feel guilty about that instead of feeling guilty about all the things you actually did do.
I think that if I had not become pregnant with triplets or quadruplets, or at the beginning, I would have become a professional. I would have either become a psychologist or a lawyer.
Right. I think you would have been a lawyer.
I'm thinking lawyer.
Yeah, I think you would have been a lawyer too.
Because, I got right out of college and then I just was laid up. But I used all my, brain power to raise 3 kids and get them out
and run, like you said, you did, all that stuff was huge, huge, huge. And I'm laughing to myself right now because not only that, but we have a woman that's worked for us for 35 years. And I was talking to her literally yesterday morning. She goes,
she's 80.
Susan, know everything. Susan, know everything. We have problems, Susan, fix. It's like what? Toilet, roof, windows, framing, mirrors fall off the wall, whatever it is. Susan, fix it.
Can't confirm. Susan does know.
Because
hardware.
Her dad owned hardware stores.
I ran a hardware store when I grew up.
She learned that stuff.
It was this close to being a strip club.
The hardware store was? So
I was just with men all day.
I see. And so I have felt emasculated most of our relationship for a different reason, because you could do all these things, plumbing and whatnot, that I couldn't do. And
you do a great light bulb, though.
I do. I change light bulbs.
Yeah, it drives him crazy. I hate doing light bulbs.
So I have OCD, and so a light goes out, I have to get it right away.
And he gets on a ladder and he screws in a light bulb. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I know. It's
he's
true.
He's good at it. And he's tall, so it helps.
I'm good at screwing in light bulbs. That is my claim to fame. That is my calling. Good.
It's actually a very sweet compliment.
I know.
It's Valentine's Day.
He's getting better. I mean, he's not very good at fixing toilets, but I've been trying to.
You've trained me a little bit, but then we have these fancy systems in there now that I just cannot make sense of. So back to Valentine's Day.
But I love the fact that I manage properties and I like help people have a comfortable.
Yeah, you're exceptionally good at it. You're exceptionally
in my
good
Airbnb, and I have friends over. Like we
in cities that don't allow Airbnb, we don't do Airbnb.
Like if we're not in New York, I invited Billy Billingham to spend the night in my apartment because we were there and they had a wonderful time, and that makes me feel good.
Did you watch Special Forces, gentlemen? Oh, thank you for supporting me. So anyway, I
saw it.
Chad? Who saw it? Chad saw it?
Yeah.
And what'd you think?
That's why we love you.
It was very interesting.
Oh, well, that's a nice comment. That's like
right. So the first episode was really eventful for Drew. And
so I'm going to get Chad's thoughts.
If you did watch it.
So what did you think? Other than interesting, give me a more specific opinion.
Well, I mean, it was cool seeing you on there.
People loved it and hated it, so I understand if you didn't like it. I'm used to people saying, I don't like that.
I will say, like, reality shows like that aren't really my thing.
Me neither.
I watched it because you were on there.
Thank
I wanted
you.
to, like, support
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Not like those other assholes sitting next to you.
14 million people watched it, too, so that was the good news. Thank God.
But listen, so Billy Billingham was one of the staff guys, one of the British staff guys that Susan set up in our apartment. Yeah. SAS guys, yeah. And I didn't know him very well. The guy that I immediately glommed onto was Rami Adeleke, who's the African-American guy. I just immediately thought that guy's got something going on.
So, yeah, because he had a movie premiere for Airplane.
It turns out, I don't want to get too...
We become friends, so I said, if anybody from the cast wants to go see Remy, stay at my house.
Yeah,
so,
and so...
guy.
You got to see some of my interviews with him over at drdrew.com if you want, because his story is insane, and I knew there was a lot there, and there's a lot there, but subject for another matter. So if they ask me back, and Susan, close your ears for a second. If they ask me back to sort of settle the score, I got sick, gentlemen. You didn't see the show. I got really sick really fast. It was insane.
You almost died.
And somebody has asked me, would you go back? And I was like, I'm not sure I could say no, because I think I have a score to settle.
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay, really? Yeah. Even though you didn't like the show.
Well, I would like to have seen you on there longer.
Yeah, at least 3 to 5 days, right? I mean, as I was sitting there...
He would have been fine in this week's episode when they took the truck and dropped it underwater.
That's anything
if they
in
had
water.
done that first, he would have been fine.
Anything in water with me, and that's where I avoided the heat stroke, was in the water. And then as soon as I got back to the desert, I got sick.
Yeah, so you had to go because you didn't have water, right?
Well, so I ended up in the ICU.
He didn't have his liquid IV.
Yeah, I ended up... I didn't have my liquid IV. Quite literally, I did not, and I would insist on that next time.
I told you to take it.
She did tell me to take it, but they wouldn't let me bring it in. I ended up in the ICU that night, and I couldn't walk until I'd got 5 liters of IV fluid in me. I was way behind. And once you get behind that you're that symptomatic, you have to have an IV. You can die really quickly. Plus
5 liters.
Yeah. And it was a long story. I had to manage it myself because just a long story.
Check out the episode with Remy Adeleke and Kate Goslin on Ask Dr. Drew, and you'll hear the whole story of
Kate and I were in bed side by side in the ICU in this hospital.
Treated in a Jordanian hospital.
Yeah, and
it was pretty crazy.
And I had to get the fluids in fast, so I had to manage it myself. But I was neurologically, I'd go in and out of consciousness. I was not there. I mean, what you saw on TV, I don't remember. I don't really remember it.
Oh.
And so I'd go in and out of consciousness. I'd wake up, my frickin' blood would be not just backed up in the IV tubing, but all the way into the bag.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, would you please change my IV, for crying out loud?
Well, he flashed all the married women when he came in, and
I took my clothes off, which in Jordan the men aren't supposed to do when they're even in an ICU bed.
Yeah.
How do I know?
You can't take off your clothes in front of a married woman.
Cut your hands off for that.
Yeah, well, she thinks they wanted my organs. She's convinced they were, because they kept wanting to take me to the operating room, and I was so out of it.
He's lucky he came out.
I just
with
kept
all
going.
his
I can't think. It's my brain, not my. I don't need abdominal surgery. And anyway, long story.
They were going to take out his colon.
She thinks they wanted a kidney while they were at it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Chad,
human trafficking happens a lot in those countries.
What happened was, do you notice when on the show after I get sick, they march everybody out into the parade area and make them dump their water over each other's heads?
Yeah.
Okay, that was because of me.
Yeah, that was his fault.
And the point they were making was to have your water topped off at all times, which was the problem. So the reason I got into trouble is if they came to you and said, is your water topped off? And you said no, they would punish the group, much like you saw them punish the whole group.
So he took one for the
Wouldn't that
team.
mean you wouldn't be able to drink it then?
Yes,
if they were testing?
Yes, it's a catch-22, and that's
understand that.
And that's sort of the way the whole thing operates. It's all catch-22s. You're always off balance. And so whenever they would come to me and said, you need water, I always needed water, and I always said no.
And it was 120 degrees outside, and the water was 100 degrees. So.
Correct. And so I got heat stroke and volume depletion.
Yeah, poor guy.
So I am now.
How long did it take you to recover?
I was out of the hospital in a day, but it took me a good week to sort of be
he was a
okay.
mess when he got home.
I was not good.
But he was changed for the better.
Ooh, look at that. In what ways?
Like, I mean, I have seen you with diverticulitis, and I've seen you lay in bed, and you've been sick a lot, like, before this. And you came back, and you were just like, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to do something about it, and I'm not going to be a pussy about it anymore. So you went to the doctor, and you were going to have your colon
My wife just called
fixed.
she just called me a pussy.
No, you said that.
Happy Valentine's
Yeah, I
Day.
love you, honey. I saw such a dramatic positive change and this new relationship with all these other people that you bonded with.
Yeah,
and
so Chad, all those people you saw, we're all like talk on a daily basis and this kind of stuff. I just called Mel B a few
Well, you
minutes
have to
ago.
remember, Drew was raised with a silver spoon. I mean,
really?
He was.
Oh, I didn't know you felt that way about me.
You've always known I've
silver
said that.
spoon.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, You had
this is like
the best education. You were always in, you were never in a survival situation.
Well, in sort of, I mean, to be fair, although I went to, as Adam would say, Little Lord Fauntleroy School for albino hemophiliacs, I did play football and I did do athletics
football,
and stuff, but nothing like this.
Yeah,
nothing dangerous
and
like this.
My kids have the same situation. I mean, you've never had to go out and live in the desert for a week.
Much unlike Susan, who had to kill rabbits and eat, live off the land and stuff. That was sort of, she was a feral.
Girl Scout.
She was a feral, Girl Scout, mind you.
I camped.
Child.
You went to Europe when you were 12. I camped in the Ozarks. Okay, so
the Ozarks.
Well, it was in Oregon.
San Gabriel Islands. Okay.
No, Oregon.
Oregon.
I used to have to catch fish and clean fish and
feral child.
Sit around all day and
to that point,
listen, I lived in a white trash trailer in the summer. Okay.
Yes.
You lived
you did.
You went to Europe. You had Laguna. You were.
Okay.
But listen, be that as it may.
The mean streets of Newport Beach, California. Everybody, mean streets.
Well, no, I was lucky because my dad got lucky and we lived in a beautiful community. And I mean, I'm not saying that I didn't have opportunities that other people obviously don't have, but compared to me, I've always thought that you didn't have a surgery until you were like 60 years old, or 50 years old when you had your
prostate out.
Yeah, you didn't have having to survive in a situation like the desert, like you did, was a huge experience for you.
Yeah, it was good.
And I think, and you weren't afraid to do it.
No.
You weren't afraid to dive backwards out of an elevator.
I was afraid. I just threw myself into it.
I wouldn't have fucking done it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done it?
No, it'd been too hard for me. But I would never do this show.
Yeah, you'd have to pull your armband off. You know what I mean? There's no saying no to those guys.
So I'm giving you a lot of credit for taking the risk and doing this and jumping in feet first and doing a great job up to the point where, obviously medically you had to leave.
One of the great things about a new year is you have no idea what adventures are in store for you. New travel experiences, new jobs, picking up new skills. No better way to prepare for 2023 than by learning a new language with Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions thanks to Babbel's addictively fun, easy, bite-sized language lessons. You can feel confident no matter where the new year takes you. You know I love Babbel. I've got Susan on it now. We're going to France this summer, so I've got her on it again, and accent is back in line where it should be. And with Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having a real-life conversation in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, not computers. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from over 14 different languages. We worked a little bit with Portuguese. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. There are many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language journey today with Babbel. Right now, you can get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Drew. That is babbel.com/Drew for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. 2023 is already well underway, so you don't want to wait any longer to level up your small business and set your year up for success. Get ahead of the competition by using Stamps.com to ship and mail. Stamps.com lets you print your own postage and shipping labels right from your home or office. It's ready to go in minutes so you can get back to what it is you're doing, is running your business. Postage rates just increased again. Luckily, Stamps.com has the best discounts in the industry with rates you literally can't find anywhere else, like up to 84% off USPS and UPS. Plus, Stamps.com automatically tells you your cheapest and fastest shipping options. For 25 years, Stamps.com has been an indispensable part of their business for over 1 million people. Get access to USPS or UPS shipping services you need to run your business right from your own computer, your own home, anytime, day or night. No lines, no traffic, no waiting, none of that. And if you sell products online, Stamps.com seamlessly connects with every major marketplace. Set your business up for success when you get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up at Stamps.com/Dr. Drew for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com/Dr. Drew. Get a 4-week trial, free postage, digital scale at stamps.com/Dr. Drew. And thanks to stamps.com for sponsoring this program. So back to the mean streets of Newport.
I shit myself.
You know what? It's so funny you played that.
You did?
No. Mel B every day, about 3 times a day, would go, they're going to make us shit ourselves. We're going to shit our pants. I'm going to shit myself.
They didn't
she
show
said that
on
over
TV.
and over and over again. So it's really funny. But okay. It's Valentine's Day. And
I know. I don't mean to be saying mean things about you.
Don't stop talking. And I'm going to say something that is with peace and love also. Okay, you ready?
Okay, honey.
Ready? Okay, here we go. Because I was thinking about it in the shower this morning.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that maybe you're having grown, now we're sort of contextualizing this, grown in the mean streets of the Ozarks in Oregon.
Right.
Okay.
My summer vacation.
Or we'll just call it Willamette. We'll just
I was
call
a
it a
Girl
different
Scout
name.
too,
We'll call
by
it
the way.
Willamette instead of Ozark. In Girl Scout, got it. Do your frontal lobes work the way you wish they would? Do you know what I'm asking? Do you have trouble containing things? Like your frontal lobes, like maybe that silver spoon, all that education I got, developed my frontal lobes in ways that, stuff doesn't come out of my mouth unless I intend it to. And I think sometimes behaviors and things come out of your mouth.
I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. I was thinking about this morning in the shower. This has nothing to do with what you just said.
Maybe you're noticing something about me that I don't know.
I'm asking if
I'm
that's...
getting Alzheimer's, everybody. That's what he's trying to say.
No, I'm literally curious.
What was your name again?
I'm literally curious. Is that something you've ever thought about? It just occurred to me. I thought, I wonder if, because the way your kids tease you and stuff. And
I have ADD.
And I started thinking, well, that's kind of frontal lobe function. And I wonder if
maybe, yeah.
And whether you can't contain stuff the way you wish you could, or other people do.
He's trying to tell me to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I don't dislike that about you. I'm just curious how you experience it. Is it too crazy?
I don't know.
Question?
I just call it a sense of humor.
Okay. I wish I could remember what prompted that question. Well, I was kind of thinking about what if I went back to the desert, and
I don't think you're going back to the desert.
Yeah.
I don't want you to.
Well, that was the other thing I thought you wouldn't let me.
I'm not happy with what happened to you. I mean, seriously.
Well,
we had no idea.
It's nobody's fault.
We were literally like, oh, it's
sort of my fault.
Reality show. It's we'll take care of him, and it was kind of disheartening. I was glad you made it out alive.
Yeah, look.
But I was really
I should have
shocked.
known better to really pay attention to the fluids at my age. There's a weird thing. I don't know about
why
you.
didn't they give you your cell phone when you went into the hospital?
I was too out of it to use my cell phone. But I will tell you that there's a strange thing about where we are in our life. I still feel like I should be able to tolerate the heat the way when I was 24.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like that.
Okay, let's talk about my frontal lobes. Like,
okay.
Do I need surgery?
No. Maybe a little
therapy,
CBT or something, or DBT, something to kind of so you think things through before you do and before you say.
Why did I do something wrong today?
No.
Okay.
No. But the fact that you asked that question and that you wouldn't know whether you had, that's what I'm talking about.
You were raised with a silver spoon.
It has. I have right now. I'm perfectly fine. I have no ill feeling about anything you've said. Zero.
Okay.
You don't believe
Bladder
that?
full of cum.
Okay. You may want to talk about your bobbleheads. Let's sit in front of you. I noticed. Let's get your mind off this. This is Susan's other project.
Get your bobblehead, drdrew.com/shop. Use Drew at checkout. So
I can always just, that's frontal lobe stuff, right? And she has trouble shifting, and this is just how your brain works, shifting from thing to thing. She can't shift, but if you do shift her, she's left whatever you were talking about. It's gone.
Speaking of shifting.
Yeah.
Shape
How are you guys going to spend your Valentine's Day?
I don't know. Drew has a big plan.
So this is the other thing about Valentine's Day, is that it is a setup. It is a setup where the man is always, he can't get it right no matter what. It's a setup for failure.
In typical
this
relationships.
sounds like projecting, though.
Oh no, it is experience. No projection. This is just the way it works.
to be fair, I did not spend very many Valentine's days with you.
Yes, I had to go away on the road a lot of them.
Because he was always hired to do a show on Valentine's Day in another city. And
what would you like to do on Valentine's Day?
And honestly, when he makes too big of a deal of it now, I don't like it. Like, I remember they would set up dinners for us and we'd have to go out and I was just like, why do we make such a big deal about this?
Okay, we're not going to celebrate Valentine's Day this year.
Yeah, I might get some jewelry or a new car.
I know, it's a setup, right, Eddie? It's a full setup, dude.
It's
a setup
right
either
now.
way.
I don't care.
Yeah, you set up either way. No matter what, it's a setup.
I don't get butthurt though.
So what would you like to do?
I've told him, don't buy me roses because the roses that are there they all have wires in them and then they die the next day and they're like $100.
Yeah.
Don't
It's a
do
waste.
that.
It's a waste. Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I don't
See,
like
this is by the way, I think this is your hormone therapy. That you've have enough
No,
testosterone now
after
that you
getting all
become more
these roses all those
pragmatic.
years and then watching them die and
But
thinking
sometimes
how much
I think
you
that's
spent.
the thing. Adam always says that's the thing. Women want it to be difficult and want it to be sort of unnecessary, but over the top.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I was in the dating world, men were horrible. I remember getting hurt every Valentine's Day. They would
never told me about
disappear,
this.
or suddenly, they'd go AWOL on Valentine's Day. And you're like, oh, that sucks.
Well, fuck those guys.
Yeah, but you've always been good. Like I've had some.
So I've not disappeared.
I've had some
Valentine's
beautiful
Day?
pieces of jewelry over the years that I've really appreciated. I've had great dinners and.
Maybe I should track
some
those
good
guys
sex.
down this year. I should track those guys down this year and give them a piece of my mind.
Oh, thank them for being assholes because it made you look better.
Sure.
No, but I mean, we do make a big deal out of it in relationships, and men don't really get it. But then you traveled and you were gone on Valentine's Day, and I would just get the paycheck and say, "Hey, this doesn't suck."
Which brings us back to what would you like to do this year?
I don't know. Maybe I need some jewelry. We'll check
Jesus!
it out.
Sorry. Speaking of frontal lobe function. Oh shit!
No, I don't. I'm not expecting anything. I just want a happy, healthy day, and be able to chew on one side of my mouth.
Oh yeah, she's having a tooth pulled pretty soon, so she's
doesn't
very
believe any
upset.
of this
Very
stuff.
upset
You
about
have to
this.
bring me soft food because remember when I had the root canal when you were in the desert and then they tried to fix it and then I couldn't open my mouth for a while and I got that weird pleural effusion thing and I think, well, the tooth is fractured so they have to yank it out and that makes me feel old. So if I could just be healed by the 14th of February, I'll be happy.
So speaking of being old and Valentine's Day, are we having enough sex lately?
I know it's like seeing you talk about old Father Time on the TV show on Special Force. It kind of was like, gosh, it's just I never really thought of you like that. Like I don't see.
I don't think you're that way either.
No, I know, but we are. So, but it's kind of I mean, I have shitty teeth and I have to deal with
I
this.
asked you, I'll ask again.
But I just want your sympathy and your.
So she can't move off.
I just want your sympathy and your commitment to help me get through this.
You have my full sympathy and commitment.
Because I was tortured as a child by the dentist, and I have
Feral
a lot
child.
of residual shit about that.
Girl Scout, Willamette, Ozarks, got it.
No, I had to have fillings in all my teeth by the time I was 7 years old, and
Yeah.
it was really bad because the guy used to beat me up in the chair, and it was bad. And so
Care to elaborate?
it's true.
My dentist smacked me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In the 60s, like you would just get your butt kicked by whoever. And my mom was sitting out in the waiting room, and she wouldn't save me. And
That
I'd
bitch.
cry, and they'd have to put more Novocaine, and it was just awful. But anyways,
So you have a thing about teeth.
having a tooth pulled
Right.
is
It's a big
it's
deal
like
for you.
losing a. I've tried to preserve my teeth since I was a child for so many years, and it's finally hitting me that I'm at an age where I'm going to be eating soft food.
Are you prepared to get off this?
So that's all I want.
Okay.
Sympathy.
Are you prepared to get off this?
No, I'm gonna just keep thinking about it. It's making
But
me
are you
anxious.
prepared to stop talking about it? You're okay to keep thinking about it.
You want to talk about sex instead?
I do. I
Okay.
do.
All right.
It's Valentine's Day. Are we up to speed? Am I falling short of my connubial responsibilities?
Listen, I don't have any complaints about you. We have a great relationship, so it's.
But if you thought about it, if you could complain,
If I could complain, I don't know. Let me think.
That's already a good answer.
It is a good answer.
There's nothing at the top of her
I
head.
mean, you got a new
about.
toothbrush for Christmas.
Yeah, I stopped doing that.
So the toothbrush doesn't annoy me anymore.
She doesn't like my sonic toothbrush sound.
I got him a $250 toothbrush.
Quiet toothbrush.
So it doesn't go when he brushes his teeth.
So that was one point of
I mean, I can hear it down the
friction in our relationship.
Yeah,
we
that's-
solved.
so that's
solved.
And now the relationship's perfect.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it is as simple as that. Just change the toothbrush. Everybody.
Yeah, and we've been, we've been having intimacy, so that's good,
Okay.
right?
That's good. Enough?
We
Enough
have,
for you?
right?
It's been weirdly.
Mostly when we're out of town and
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
been
have people
weirdly.
in our house,
It's
but-
been weirdly in streaks.
Well, you were busy. You were super busy anyway.
But I have felt sleepy, tired, like I've needed sleep lately.
Yeah.
And that's. Been
I mean, it comes.
And then our
waxes.
kids have been in and out of the house and stuff. It's
No,
been weird.
it's not. Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with our sex life, but I think we've got all our.
Although to that point,
I don't know. Are you happy?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But I feel like we've gotten to a place where I understand better what you like. Let's say what you really like.
Yeah.
And I find it odd that it took 30 years to get there. Is there a reason?
Well, I was a little busy with the kids. Like, you have to put a lot of respect towards women who are raising children. It changes your dynamic. But also, I just wanted to say, once the tooth is pulled,
your mouth will work again.
it won't be working for a while.
It won't be working.
I'm so sorry. You're going to have to miss that.
So, when it comes to sex, that we should talk in terms of planes, right? There's a plane across the mouth, there's a plane across the anus, there's a plane across the vagina. So one of the planes will be closed for business.
Yes. Sadly.
No
lip service.
No lip service. I like that. But is there
Which bums me out.
Relax.
It bums me out.
So that's the biggest problem.
It's coming out on Tuesday, so we got some work to do this
You
week.
bet I'll be coming up in May. It's coming out on Tuesday, and you bet I'll be coming up in May.
No, I'm not going to lie. I enjoy it, but I do think about it. And I was talking to Silva, and she's like,
Silva?
yeah, she goes, she's my jeweler, just so you guys know.
She's just
Valentine's Day
she's
is
a friend
coming.
of ours. She speaks multiple languages, so I speak French with her.
Yeah,
and I
we're friends.
appreciate it. I love it.
And she said, so what?
She was like, perfect excuse. The plane is closed.
Why is it? She goes, use your hand. Like, whatever.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well,
What you ladies talk about on your? I thought you were talking about
I was joking
jewelry.
around with her because she's going to bring me soup. You haven't mentioned that you're going to bring me soup.
No,
yet,
not
so-
even bringing soup. I think I'm going to be working with the blender and pureeing stuff.
Yeah,
for you,
I got
creative.
a bunch of proteins.
Yeah,
shake
I'll do stuff.
Thank you,
trust me.
honey. I appreciate it. 'cause
No, I was. He literally. Listen. I
really
want you to hear me.
nervous.
Hear me. I was afraid to say that I was going to be prepared to puree and liquefy food for fear of your head blowing off. Going, I want to eat. I was
No.
afraid you'd say that. So
I mean,
that's
I'm
why.
hoping I'll lose a little weight. That
So
would be
that's
the
why
upside.
I held that to myself, but I was totally prepared to do the puree and the whatever.
Thank you.
So.
Well, or go to my Celestino because that's where they have all the soft food.
Fine. Whatever it takes. All right.
I used to always wonder why this one restaurant in Pasadena was like octogenarian mostly, and then we ate there the other night, and I was going, all the food here is really soft.
I'll be eating more of this. Nadav, you have a question? I feel like you've got to say something. No,
No, I was just going to say, speaking of all this Valentine's stuff.
Yeah.
We got some Valentine's, love-related.
Are you saying Valentines?
How are you supposed to say it?
Look up the spelling. It's all good. You can say Valentine's.
No, it's the time of Valen.
Yeah,
Just
you
like
know what? Maybe it started
That's how
out.
Tom and Christina say it.
Okay.
Okay,
So
maybe
just-
it started out with
Valentine's.
time and it turned to time.
No, it's Saint Valentine, but Valentine's Day I'll go with. So what do you got for some
that's
emails,
funny.
voicemails?
Yeah, I got some
All right,
fun
let's do it.
voicemails
Let's
for
do
you.
it. All right, I'm ready.
Hi, Dr. Drew. This is Allie.
Allie.
I've always heard that more lube is better, right?
More lube?
But I like it dry. Am I weird? Is this normal? I'm not sure. I also prefer my own fingers, and I definitely am like one of those girls that has more orgasms through intercourse than anything.
That's it? That's all you got for us?
Those are a few questions.
So did she say she likes it better dry?
Yes.
Okay. So I think, God, I have some questions for her. So what do you think? You'll let you go first. So she's highly orgasmic with intercourse.
I think that some people like more friction.
Right.
Obviously.
So that means perhaps the penis is a little small that she's working with.
Yeah,
possible.
that could be.
So that's one of the questions. And the other is that because she likes that vaginal stimulation, she's going to like all that, no matter how much more is better for her. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's her. We've talked about this before, right? How some women have vaginal intercourse, some not, some mixed. And is it?
They have orgasms with vaginal intercourse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that mysterious to you that women can do that, or is it? Do other women talk about that, or do they? It's so different for men because it's all the same, pretty much.
Right. Well, I think some people's G spot is more.
But women don't
sensitive.
talk amongst themselves about it.
No.
Okay. All right.
Not me. I mean,
not you. Good.
That's not my thing. But I think it's changed for me over the course of the last 30 years because, you'd have to start to get me started and then have sex. But now I would rather have sex and then take care of me. Like it flip flopped. It's weird, and I don't know why that is. Do you know?
No.
Oh.
I think God is being good to me is really what
I know God worked out in your
God
in your
gave me
direction.
lots of presents through you.
Yeah. A lot of things have changed. So no, but women can do a lot of things, and
women can do a lot of things.
They just have to express themselves and tell the partner what they like.
Well, that goes back to sort of what I was alluding to about it taking 30 years to get to the point where I get the landscape of what you're into. Were you afraid to tell me? Did you not know?
I had this complex with my mother, so it goes way deep because she had one lover, my dad, and I didn't. And I always felt sort of ashamed for that.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me I'm not the only guy you've slept with?
No. I'm sorry, honey.
Fuck this. I'm out of here.
The truth is out.
Sucking your own dick.
Yeah, you will be if you're out. That's it.
Wow.
But anyways, no, but when she passed away, I literally became more sexual. It was weird. And I didn't realize it till she passed away.
Interesting. And that was what, 12 years ago, 14 years ago?
And I think I also started hormone replacement around the same time.
That helped also.
No, but I think it was so weird. It was like this.
Well, here's the deal.
I mean, just the minute she passed, I literally felt like emancipated. Like now I don't have to pretend to be something that she wanted,
That's interesting.
Even though she had Alzheimer's for like 3 years. And
I hope you would feel free to tell me whatever it might be. And it's not something.
No, and I think that I was like, you were not as aggressive as you should have probably been, but I couldn't really tell you that. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't communicate it with you because I had this like weird thing about like now I express myself more and tell you what I want. Yeah. Like I'll go, time to go, and he'll be there in 3 minutes, ready to go, pants down.
3 seconds.
I know, but I couldn't do that when the kids were young. Like for some reason, I had a different mindset at that point.
Yeah. We're not judging. We're just exploring.
And maybe I have more free time on my hands.
Like I said, God is good. He's given me lots of gifts. So we got to the right place. More voicemail. More voicemail.
Dr. Drew, Booth Boys, John, 36, married 8 years with 2 kids. Until recently, I had slept with my kids, and my wife slept with the other. And we've just recently got them into their own bedrooms, and her and I back in our bed tonight, and so I'm chomping at the bit to get back to a regular sex life, and libido, I guess you could say, is not anywhere near what mine is, and so we've talked about it, we're working through it. Talking about sex to me is foreign and challenging, and so I just wanted to give Dr. Drew and Susan a shout out with being so open about that.
Nice.
Dr. Drew, I was just wondering if you had any words of wisdom to continue on my journey to be comfortable talking about sex and having a healthy and happy life with my wife.
All good. All
Thanks,
good.
guys. Love the show.
The fact that you could call us tells us all we need to know. So that's good. So in a way, he's more like you in terms of feeling kind of uncomfortable talking about things. And even if you like, think about these kinds of topics is you could be comfortable talking with your friends, you could be talking on a microphone, and still with the person you're close to, it could be tough. That's just how things work. The thing about, did you say they had 4 kids?
Like 5.
There are multiple kids like that. It fucks with the woman's biology.
It's hard.
Yeah. And her lack of libido has probably little or nothing to do with how she feels about you, though that's always important also to explore that, because sometimes that can be an issue.
And you don't want them
unlikely.
to hear you or come knocking on the door.
There's having the kids.
They always interrupt you.
Is she still breastfeeding? When did she stop breastfeeding? When was the last pregnancy? Look, you're set up biologically as a female, not, God doesn't want you to have kids one on top of the other, and he doesn't want you to have too many kids, because everybody will die if mom has too many kids. And that's just sort of the biology goes against libido as pregnancies happen and as more kids happen. So you're in that zone where the biology is working against you. So one of the things, what would you tell her to do?
How does she get her libido back?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
And first of all, she needs to have her hormones checked.
Correct.
It depends on how old she is too.
And if she's breastfeeding and when the last pregnancy was, this kind of thing.
Right.
Correct.
And then the other thing is she needs to feel safe.
That the kids aren't going to rush in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to put a barrel bolt on the door, everybody.
A hotel, little vacation
grandma,
weekend would be good.
Get the grandparents in there. Don't be afraid. Focus on that relationship. So put it as a priority.
Time.
Yeah.
And then also when we were dating, when we had kids and we were having time alone, we didn't have a huge, porn.
So you can use pornography.
Yeah,
you can use pornography.
Like a porn, in your phone.
Portals.
Portal in your phone where you could just like pull it up and have
so this is something
on the TV and just to sort of warm up or whatever.
And I don't think I've ever spoken about this on these shows, which is we used to use pornography therapeutically, particularly back in the AIDS days, because the men would go, "What are you supposed to do?" We go, "You can look at porn together, but don't, you can't." Because we had nothing to offer back in the beginning of the AIDS epidemic.
Right.
These guys were dying. Boom, boom. And it was just horrific. But they were also worried about what to do with their relationships. And we started advocating that they watch porn together. That was sort of what we were doing. But there's, people don't talk about that much now, but couples can use that too.
Well, after I gave birth, I tried to watch porn with you and I had no response. I was just looking at it's doing nothing.
Well,
so
that's
I knew
also
that
how
was hormonal
right.
problem.
That's how you know it's hormonal. When you start looking at people kissing and it looks weird to you.
I don't mean to promote porn. Maybe they're religious and they don't do that or whatever. But
also fine.
But just to.
The point is, it has some therapeutic potential to it.
A little bit, yeah. If you get the right one, you don't want to get something really weird or.
Maybe
whatever.
that's something.
It doesn't.
Who are you to judge?
I don't know.
Cinemax has some real low tier.
You can also do that kind of thing too, right? Yeah. Some low intensity
stuff. Right, ones for women, get the porn.
The ones for women, which is, I think I must have told this story over the years, guys. I used to, Stormy Daniels used to come on Loveline back in the day. The Stormy Daniels, same one, the Trump Stormy Daniels. And last time I talked to her, which was years ago, she said she was at that point producing and directing porn. Are you looking her up? You know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
There's Stormy. And she said to me, she goes, I have to produce successful pornography. And she goes, and I want to produce pornography for men and women. And she goes, I've learned one thing that is absolutely 100% true. Here's how it works. Men want to see people having sex. Women want to know why two people like each other enough to want to have sex. And I thought very interesting, very interesting. So the story, the lead up and stuff was all important. And for men, we're like, why do you put that in why do we need to watch that? It's just a waste of time. It's like, are we watching pornography? What's that?
Well, there's so many versions of it now, so you can get something safe, and that's sort of like a conversation, like an intimacy conversation, like Drew pulls up whatever he likes, and I'm like, oh, you like that? It's interesting.
And so what story do you like? I don't think I've ever asked you that. What's the lead up story? Yeah.
There's a lot of things I like.
She's not going to tell us.
I like the surprise, oh, wow.
I'm the pizza boy and all of a sudden I pull my penis out.
No, it's not there's a surprise. Oh, you're hot. I'm hot. Let's have sex, whatever.
Doesn't sound like a surprise when you're watching pornography.
Well, listen, I'm trying to think what I like. I like beautiful bodies.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously.
That's the testosterone you're taking.
And it doesn't take much because you can just look at a beautiful body and it makes you feel,
But the story part, I've never asked you what that
the
build
story.
up. I don't even know what
I'm
this.
not a big story person. But I
don't know what the surprise, like is it stepmom, real estate, realtor? What's the surprise?
I'm not a stepmom. I don't like stepmom stuff or stepsister. That makes me uncomfortable.
I understand.
Yeah,
all right, let's
it's a
get some more
little
voice
weird.
messages. Yes, it is weird.
I mean, unless you
say that, by
you
the
put
way.
it out of your
But
head.
people
that
like
they're-
it. Not to judge. We
that
do not
they're
judge.
in that, if they're hot, just forget the fact that.
Yeah, of
it's
course. They're not actually step siblings.
I don't like young guys with older women. That bothers me.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
It's kind of
I get that.
weird, and then I don't
Or
like
old guys with
old
younger women
guys
too.
Or,
Yeah.
or stepsisters are kind of weird too. I don't know. I like the whole stuff, and it always pops up.
Right. We've got to what you don't like, but I'm still not clear what surprise is.
I don't think their storyline is as much.
Okay.
It's just the
Don't struggle. It's all right.
body
It's just a
parts.
simple question. All right.
No, but we've never really. I mean, you know what I like.
Yeah. Colombians.
I do like the Colombian. I like Hispanics too. I'm telling you, I like the black guys too.
All right.
Sorry, Annie. I had to throw it out there.
Why are you saying sorry?
I know it's a compliment. Come on
know.
now. She hates white men. So let's go to the voicemail. More voicemail.
Hey, Dr. Drew. Quick question about my fiance's vagina seems to be at an angle that I've never experienced before.
Oh, interesting.
And it's one of those weird things to try to broach as a conversation piece, but there are positions like side along, the lazy Sunday morning sex in bed. There's certain angles that would be easier or would have been easier to do with other women that I've been with. And I was curious if the angle of the vagina varied greatly between women, or if that's just my imagination and it's because you got a bigger butt. A lot of women I've been with. What's going on? Have a good one.
God bless
Thank you,
him.
buddy. So
You're gonna learn to love it.
There can be septated vaginas and all kinds of structural abnormalities.
Side vagina. What was that? You guys were talking on the show with the Panamorous girl.
Oh, with Jade.
Jade, yeah. And she said something about having a side vagina. Is that what that is?
I don't know. Or maybe that was sounds like a stoma. But do you know a friend of ours had to have a stoma? You're like, did I tell you the story?
Yeah, you talked about it on that show.
Yeah, you love telling us about stomas.
But that we are out with dinner with them the other night, and they just went over and over how the nurses emphasize: do not attempt to penetrate the stoma. Do not put your penis in this.
So this woman's vagina is on an angle. What does he?
I don't think it's a
mean by
vagina.
that?
I don't think it's. I think it's probably how her uterus is positioned. It's probably a retroflex
tilted uterus.
Yes, and so when he gets in, he feels this sort of
I
weird.
had that for a while. Did that bother you?
You had
Do
that?
you remember? Yeah, I remember my doctor told me that it was tilted after I gave birth. It was.
Oh no, I didn't notice.
Did it hurt? Do you remember?
No.
Was I in pain or?
That I don't know. That can be uncomfortable. That for you. So I don't remember.
But getting the angle right just takes time and experience. Like you just have to do what you have to do until you figure it out.
This is a topic I've never discussed before. So is there really just a just so angle for every woman?
Well, I personally dated guys that
I'm not sure I want to hear too much here.
that I wasn't happy with the way our bodies fit together.
Yes. Is that have to do
And
with angle?
they were absolutely adorable, and I would have dated them, but it just hurt. It was uncomfortable. So, not everybody's built for each other. If you really love somebody and you want to make it work, you just have to figure it out.
Let's go back to the original question.
Okay, sorry.
Is there? Thank you for all the travel log, but the penis travel log. But is there a just so angle for most women that they find more comfortable than others? Is that why? And I'm not saying position. I'm saying sort of angle. And will women just sort of unnaturally sort of adjust to that? You know what I mean? They'll just sort of do it themselves.
Maybe.
Or I guess what I'm asking is, do men need to be aware of that? I've never thought about that.
I'm trying to. I mean, there's some angles that just don't work, but you just move around and get out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, listen.
So just pay attention.
That's all. It's up to him to be persistent, and figure out where he needs to go. And
why is it up to him?
I mean, he's saying it's a weird angle for him.
Again, some of these voice messages, I wish I had more information. I'm wondering if she's sort of complaining, like it's uncomfortable or something. That's why but we don't know. You're right. It is up to him to be persistent if it's just his feeling. Correct. I agree with that.
Right. Maybe this is something that communication could probably
Communication, everybody.
Yeah.
Speaking of communication.
No, it's true. I mean, I'm not an expert. I mean, I don't know how to
relax.
verbalize
It's all
all
good.
this.
You're fine. You've been doing a good job on the show.
Thank you.
Hello, Boothway boys. I recently brought a male sex toy similar to a fleshlight. I found it was unusable because the hole of the toy is so small. In brief, I got drunk and thought vegetable oil would be a good lube to substitute, and it worked. The next day, my uncircumcised penis, there was a film on the head of my penis and some mild irritation. Can this cause any medical problems or complications? Or should I invest in some real lube for future silicone penetrative adventures? Yes. Invest in lube. Isn't that sort of obvious? Didn't he answer his own question?
This lube makes my dick feel weird. What should I do? Don't use that lube.
and he even asks, how about I just buy some lube? Yes, buy some lube.
But actually on that, I've heard people using coconut oil as lubricant. Is that a better substitute?
I mean, they're all okay.
In terms of edible?
And they're all okay, and they can all cause irritation, particularly of the urethra. So that's why you want really inert stuff like the water-based lube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? What's the matter? You got a puss.
It just cracks me up how men are so fixated with these like fleshlights and it's just so funny.
Anything around the penis they're thinking about.
I know, I get it.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a mysterious thing?
No, I get it now. I understand.
Now that you've had some testosterone?
No, I don't know. I was watching.
I think there's a lot going on in that head right now. I'd like to know.
Our friend who had the stoma was
Yes.
on her show last night, and they were all laughing. And she says, "Yeah, men just talk about their dicks all the time." So,
but you stated you women tend to state that as a matter of fact, but with a certain amount of either confusion or disdain.
Wouldn't you get tired if we talked about our vaginas all the time?
Would we get tired?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, my vagina itches right now."
Would we get tired? It's a good question.
But I mean, do guys? I mean,
they don't talk about it. They think about it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the exact distinction I was.
Yeah, they think about it a lot. There's a lot of energy there.
No, I know. It's an ongoing thing. It's just a biology.
And so when you give them, you're right, and when you give them a
with.
chance to talk about it, it comes out. When you give, hey, you have any questions? Yeah, matter of fact, I've been thinking about this all last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about my penis, and it itches.
No, I get it, but it's funny. It's like, oh, I used this oil. Should I not use this oil? Like, it's funny.
Well, what's embedded in it, yeah. Okay, so think about it this way. So follow me. You ready?
Okay.
Because this is the weird part for women. The penis, for most men, is some sort of representation of not just his worth, but his self. It's a representation of the self.
I get it.
And so one of the preoccupations for young males particularly is, am I okay? Am I normal?
Right.
And so that becomes externalized as, is my penis okay? Is it normal? Right?
It's true.
Because that's where the biology is linked in. And that's funny to you. To us, it's serious business.
Well, it's now I'm used to it. I've listened to Loveline for 30 years.
Yeah.
And for a really long time, I would just say, this is just guys talking about their dicks all day. Like, it's penis line. It's not even Loveline. And I remember going, can't you take calls from somebody who's just not asking about a bump or a, whatever.
Then it wouldn't be males. Then you'd be talking just to females.
But I was astounded by that then.
Yeah.
I was actually perturbed by it. I was bored by it. It wasn't, because I was hoping I'd hear more about the female side, or whatever.
Well, you would, but here's what I say about Loveline was, you'd hear about men thinking about their penis and am I normal?
Yeah.
And women wondering what's up with men. Yeah. So everybody was talking about the men.
So basically,
on that show
all we have to do is focus
on
on their penises and everybody's happy. That's it. You just have to.
Yeah, look, I got the booth is voting yes.
Before it's
pretty simple, ladies.
Try to get all emotional. Just go, hey, how's your dick?
No, can I do something for your dick? Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? How is it today? Good. Everybody good in there?
Great.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, dicks are
That's
good.
normal for a penis.
Yeah. Hey, my boyfriend recently took mushrooms, and then after 4 strokes came. Is it possible to get high off mushrooms? Don't call me daddy, but it'll come at me. The only drug that I know of offhand, I don't know that mushrooms are not one of them, but the only one I know of offhand is meth. Amphetamine comes in the semen. In fact, it's concentrated at about 5 times what's in your blood. Another voice message.
Hey, Doc. This is Quinn out in Connecticut. I've been dating a girl for about 2 years, and we get along great. We're madly in love. We really, really enjoy our time together. We have a lot of sex. She has a very high sex drive to match mine, which is great. But sometimes I notice funk coming from down there, and she can kind of get excessively wet, sometimes even kind of foamy, slimy. I don't know. I know you always talk about how us guys, we don't care about smells, blah, 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 but it's really kind of off-putting. So I'm looking for some advice on how to breach that subject and then methods to rectify this kind of stench.
All right, a couple things. Got it. First of all, only people in New England are named Quinn. And did he say he's doing a girl? Is that what he said? I'm doing a girl now? Anyway. But what do you think? How should he discuss this?
This is a tough one. Mm-hmm. When I was pregnant, I had a housekeeper who had BO, and I told her to use deodorant, and she quit. So it's hard.
Say that one more time, Susan.
When I was pregnant, I had a housekeeper who had BO, and I asked her to use deodorant because, your sense of smell is heightened when you're pregnant, and she quit. She was
offended.
That was.
And that smell was coming from her armpits.
Yeah, but if
remember I said Susan's frontal lobe doesn't.
No, I'm trying to be sensitive because you don't say, hey, I was thinking maybe you could just say, oh, I'm kind of itchy or something, and I'm going to go to the doctor and have it checked out.
You could do that. That's a reasonable way to do it. But I think what I normally tell guys in situations like this is, you notice I noticed a change.
You always have the answer.
Well, just say,
it's impressive.
I noticed a change recently, and I was listening to your mom's house, and Christine and Drew were talking about smells, things that would happen.
One time, Susan, when she was pregnant, got Gardnerella, and it smelled bad.
Yeah,
so.
and they were talking about it, and I thought, maybe you have an infection, and that can really be, I'm worried about you. You go talk to a gynecologist.
I'd be really worried. Maybe.
And if there is not an infection, put your fucking big boy pants on and don't worry about it. You know what I mean? If it's not something going on there, this is something you really like, and it was really become simpatico with. People have smells. It happens.
Well, I always, after Drew goes running, if I'm in the mood, I'll go, will you please go take a shower?
Right. You can shower. I wouldn't recommend douching and stuff because that can upset the whole situation there. But
maybe she has a little
infection,
chlamydia or something.
No, or Gardnerella.
Wait, what smells like?
Trichomonas is the bad one.
Yeah.
The so-called
Gardnerella smells.
Gardnerella can smell a little bit too.
I got that when I was pregnant. He's like, "How'd you get that?" I don't know. Just growing 3 babies in there. It sounds like garden and.
Gardnerella.
She has a garden of babies. You see how her brain works? That's a good.
And he was like, "What?" So I took some Flagel or something.
Flagel cream, probably.
Yeah.
Is that a bacterial thing?
Gardnerella. I think they even renamed. I think they renamed Gardnerella to something else now.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to have sex for 9 months, pretty much. We probably had sex like 3 times, and.
One of the jokes that God plays on humans. Yeah.
Even though I was horny all the time. It's so sad. So sad.
Let's see if they
we were allowed to do other stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, we couldn't really get you too stimulated. Yeah.
It would put me into labor if I got horny. I couldn't watch anything on TV either. It was awful.
Let's see, bacterial vaginoses. Yeah, it's just I don't know if they call it anything different these days, but Gardnerella, people know what we're talking about. That's a very common
natural
vaginosis.
Part of the environment.
And bacterial vaginosis is a whole topic, and it's actually a significant thing during pregnancy. It's associated with preterm labor and things. And so
if I have a smell, I know something's wrong. Like I would want to know I would have it checked.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And he should to approach it from a very sort of clinical point of view, not from
I get it. I get it. But it's hard to tell somebody that you're concerned.
I feel like
about their frontal lobe.
No, but that's not their frontal lobe. that's different.
It's like
it's like what?
It's just, it's hard dating and saying there's a smell is it's hard. It's like,
okay.
It's not an easy conversation.
I would like to watch a TikTok with Susan. Is there anything that you guys have sort of, in the chamber there that might be of interest to her?
Here, we got a couple TikToks
okay, just a couple,
that we can wrap on.
Oh,
yeah.
Also, I would just tell that man, hold your breath. Sometimes you got to hold your breath. You know what I'm saying? That's easy.
Be a big boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold your breath.
I like it.
Yeah. What I've said in the past was that men, they could erode their kneecaps. They'll keep going. You know what I mean? But also, sometimes you move ahead. You just, you may not like every smell you come across. Thank God. One of the things God did do for us is our sense of smell is not as acute as females. So
yeah.
So that's good.
It's true.
All right. So here we go. Ew, what we got going on here? Vaping. Oh, she coughed her teeth out. What do you think, Susan?
God.
She's probably younger than you are, actually.
Seriously?
I bet you.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
She is.
People have to be careful with themselves.
It's because I'm using Genucel.
That's what it is. Give me another one. Wow. He's just feathering it, dudes.
Oh, wow. That looks like something my dad would do.
It does look like something your dad would do.
Oh, my gosh.
I love this guy.
Look how good he is.
Yes.
At that.
Right?
Oh, I want to see the finished
Vidal
product.
Sassoon's dad.
Do you think at the end he shaves his head or anything? Like he's really going
He
for
does
some
look
sort
like
of...
Vidal Sassoon a little bit.
Oh, that's crazy. But I love it. I love that he's using essentially ivy, gardening shears.
It looks like something my dad.
And it's feathering it, man. It beats fire. It beats a
Get
lighter.
out those hardware shears.
And there's no blood anywhere.
Yeah.
He's just real good at that.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
So cute. He looks like he's in Scotland or
Is
something,
he
doesn't
looking in a mirror or into his phone? Like I guess
in
he's
the
using his
phone,
phone as the mirror.
I don't even think
I like
he
the
needs a mirror.
backdrop
No,
too.
I don't
Like
think he does.
it's blue sky. It's like he probably uses those for the sheep. Like
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I thought. I thought he's wearing a wool sweater. It's
Did
Shetland.
you say that? Or did
I said Scotland,
I can't
but
really hear my
but I
ear
was
thing went
thinking
out.
sheep at the time.
Oh yeah, he looks like
No,
he's
maybe
out on
are
the,
those sheep shears? Maybe those
yeah,
are gardening
I think
shears.
they are. I think they're sheep shears.
Let's see them again. Go
Chad
back.
from Omaha says yes.
Sheep
Omaha?
shears.
They look like sheep shears to me.
Yeah, so there you go, Susan. Love it.
But
so
it's
let's
the
see it
blue
again.
sky background.
Yeah, and the. Yeah. This guy he's a sheep farmer.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Why not shear yourself?
Rusty shears.
I figures if I can do it to the sheep, I can do it to myself.
Yeah,
And
he
that's it.
should
There's
have
no-
left
there's
a
no-
little bit here in the
Well, I
front.
think
like
my bet is he's going to either take a buzzer or a razor or something finished up, but maybe not.
He's got a nice head of hair, though. Gotta say,
For an old dude, is he?
Yeah.
Is there a part two?
more than I do on the top.
No, he's just really good at cutting his own hair.
You said more than you do on top. You want to talk about what that is and
What
Your-
pattern baldness in my family?
yeah,
Yeah,
And
we
the-
all have it. The whole family has it.
and it's one of the
My kids,
one of the
except for Douglas, he didn't get it.
one of the side effects of testosterone.
Yeah.
In women. So Susan talks gloriously about hormone replacement. We're both big fans. And I've
But
seen
it thins my hair.
changes people's lives. It's going to be very helpful for a lot of women. It can just restore relationships.
getting there. It's better right now.
We've emphasized this before in our shows that it's something that women got to look into and that doctors don't pay enough attention to. But the main side effect of the testosterone is male pattern balding, hair growth,
Yeah,
and
which you can laser.
you
off.
can
It's no
whatever,
big deal.
and then aggression. Some women just get really aggressive and irritable
Yeah,
with it. So
yeah.
I haven't noticed that happened to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just the frontal lobe problem.
You were already aggressive, so it didn't get more aggressive. So
It was. He's used to it.
So you didn't get more aggressive. So
No.
okay, thank you for being here.
It made me happy. I
know it-
testosterone is happy juice.
For some women, it's restores your normal mood, and it gets you in touch back with it. Restores a part of yourself that
Yeah.
kind of goes away. That's so
I was
unfair.
depressed,
Yeah.
anxious, angry,
Yeah.
sweating, everything. And then when I went on the testosterone and progesterone and estrogen
Yep.
replacement, I was happy, but my hair started falling out.
Yeah.
So it got thinner.
Yeah.
So I'm not highlighting it anymore. It's a darker shade. I don't know if you guys like it or not.
We like it, right?
I'm kind of
Looks
happy
great.
with it.
Looks great. Any? Looks great. Chad, looks great.
It's fine,
Thank you.
on the end. So anyways, I'm
Please be
trying
supportive.
to, I have to draw my eyebrows in a little bit more, but it's okay.
It's all good. You're
and
beautiful.
I'm
love
using
you.
some new products and my hair's growing back.
We appreciate you being here.
My Genucel.
I think people like hearing from you. I think your honesty and openness is really important for other people, as you heard somebody say on one of the voice messages.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
And it is Valentine's.
It's nice to be back.
It is Valentine's Day. You say you tell me I don't say I love you enough, so I love you very much.
Oh, I love you too.
And
honey.
it's been a joy to have a life with you.
He doesn't say it that much. It's kind of weird.
but it's been a joy to build a life together with you. So
thank you, honey.
So,
I'm glad that we're still together after all of these years.
I know. And have we ever done the math? I mean, we got together when we were
on how long do you guys have been together?
We got married. We got together.
I was 23. You were 24
years old, and we really got married. We were 31. So that was where we really were.
So that was 40 years ago.
It's insane. That's insane.
No, and I respect you, and I'm so happy now that you're able to do what you do and show people what a great human you are for saving lives and knowing everything, all these big words in medicine that I could never say, and how you just get it. You get humans, you get sexual side, you get medical side, you get brain side, all this stuff.
It's through what's called
psychology, and
it's through what's called clinical experience. When you see people in these clinical settings, and you've been trained on it, and you see all the diversity of manifestations of these phenomenon, it's pretty crystal clear.
I knew how smart you were when we were dating, like in our 20s, and we were at the airport going to Mexico, and you walked up, and you had just been like working 1,000 hours a week, and we had to drive to the airport, and I threw up, and I was just because we were out late the night before. Anyway, so you get to the counter, and something was wrong with the ticket or whatever, and you were just asking questions, and the lady was so mean to you, and I was like, I want this guy to be famous so that people will show respect to him, because he works so hard, and he really doesn't deserve to be treated like shit at the United counter or whatever it was. It wasn't even United.
Little did you know there would be something called Twitter.
No,
people shit on me all the time now.
I knew that people knew who you were, that you would get respect one day for your intelligence. And that's the weirdest thing is, like, I've learned so much about you in the last 5 years because we've been sitting, across the table from one another. They're talking to people on our live streams, and every day you come up with a new tidbit of knowledge that I didn't know you knew. I mean, it's astounding, and you interview really smart people, and you always have something to say back, and it's really incredible. And I appreciate that you.
I appreciate that.
Like me, because I am like, that I don't.
You don't have the same
that.
experience, but you've got your own
skills.
I've got the
talents,
and they are intellectual. Trust me.
Well, thank you. Some people think I'm smart. I've got them fooled.
But what I want to say, just to wrap up, is that what you're pointing at is something I feel very strongly about. Is that I've had this very incredible clinical experience where I was working 100 hours a week for many, 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 many years. And I was working in psychiatric hospital setting, in the acute care medical setting, in the ICU, in the outpatient. And I had this broad experience that no doctors get anymore.
No,
it's just not existent. And so I want to kind of give that back. So
and you're a workaholic, but you work in the right places. Like you go and, you went to the psychiatric side, you went to the sexual health side. You went to you're very,
I've sort of seen the full spectrum of the human experience clinically, and I want to give that all back now. So that's what we're doing here.
No, I love that. I love that.
That's what we're doing with your show. Check out Susan's show. I think your audience
likes it too.
It's Ask Dr. Drew. You can get it at drdrew.tv, drdrew.com, but mostly stay here with us at your mom's house. We appreciate you all being here. We appreciate the emails at After Dark. We appreciate the voice messages. We appreciate your support. Have a great Valentine's Day every day, everybody, and I hope that our conversations improve those relationships out there, and enjoy yourselves on Valentine's Day. See you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.